Today we have a returning guest, Mrs. Erin Pierson Mills of eXp Realty here. She's going to give us an update on what's happening with her family's ranch sale. An icon here in Las Vegas that we're all sad to see change ownership here. But and then also she's had some new tips on how to get your offers accepted from the buyer's side. So can't wait to hear from Erin here. But before we get to Erin, Ruth, what is happening in real estate?
I'm going to hide y'all in the lobby and so everybody can see what is happening here. So we're bumping along with about a month of inventory. Nothing really has changed in that department, which is a good thing. And we're selling about 145 homes a day in the first 3 days of December. So we're keeping up with the year. We're averaging 143 sales a day in the year. And this month so far, 145. Amazing. Last December was really a hot month, 174 a day for that month. For some reason, that was really going crazy. And if you look at the median price, it might give you some indication because the interest rates were really low last December and the median price was $347. So if you were lucky enough to buy a home in December of 2020, look at you made $57,000 of equity on your home based on the median prices. So that's a wonderful thing. We've got about 2,654 single family homes available. 642 of them are 400,000 and under. And we listed 27 400 and under homes yesterday. So we're percolating along. Everything's great. $1 million homes still flying off the shelf at 4 a day. Investors are buying 45 homes a day. And that's kind of the tail of the tape there. I want to segue a little bit now to what's going on in Las Vegas. It is a wonderful place if you come here to visit or if you live here. There's always beautiful things going on. This is truly a show town. And downtown Summerlin is bringing back their parade and it returns in grand style. So if you have a chance, go to the Summerlin downtown holiday parade. And it's just a wonderful thing to do. And, you know, there's so many things in Vegas that go on, like I said, like the ice skates. If you go to the Cosmopolitan, you can ice skate where you overlook the strip, you know, sip your festive cocktails and roast marshmallows by the fire. It is a great experience. And then you can also, you know, have a staycation in a beautiful rustic lodge and the retreat at the Charleston Peak overlooking the snowy mountains in Mount Charleston. That's always fun. And snow, they have snow up there. So I don't know if they have snow yet. I didn't check this morning, but they'll have it. They'll have it sometime this month. And then you can go over to Lee Canyon and go skiing and snowboarding. I know people think Vegas is the desert, but we do have some beautiful mountains around us. And then you can also take a cooking class at Sur La Table in downtown Summerlin and learn how to make a variety of holiday dishes. That's what they're specializing this month. And then there's so many seasonal light displays and events going on. You can go to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway for a spectacular run through the glittering lights, Nevada's largest and favorite holiday drive-through show tradition. And then also you can light up the holidays at Mystic Falls at Sam's Town with nightly light shows and festive lights. If you stop by the lobby in the Aria, you see larger than life gingerbread houses on display, and you can grab a treat at their pastoria. It's beautiful. Also, the conservatory at the Bellagio is a sight to behold. They use flowers to make all types of statues, and it's just beautiful, and you just have to go there to really appreciate it. Anyway, those are just a couple ideas. I could go on, but like you can go out to Henderson, to FOM's Christmas, what do they call it? The Christmas, what's it called? Happy Light Show. Thank you. Okay, I'm done. I'm starting to forget what I'm saying. So it's time to, let's bring on our guests. There's just so much. It's amazing.
Yeah, and right now at the Las Vegas ballpark, they're having like this Christmas event too. That's like a Christmas maze, ice rink, and Santa, and a few vendors. So I mean, and I think they're running it 7 days a week, I believe, through the month of December here. So We were just there Thanksgiving weekend on a Friday, the Friday after Thanksgiving. It was a good time. So a lot of things happening here in Las Vegas for sure.
Yeah, and so many people come here for the holidays for that reason. They return and return and return every year.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. No, growing town, lots of things going on. But Erin, glad to have you back. Appreciate you coming back on this morning.
What's that?
So I say appreciate you coming back on this morning. So my first question for you, I'm curious. One of the things I wanted to ask you was, what's going on with the ranch?
Okay, so now I've got my dog in here, Bosco. Thank you. The ranch is getting some good traction. Here's the thing. It's going to take the most special buyer on the planet because we want to maintain and preserve what we give back to the community. So we've had about 8 different groups or people come through just trying to work through if it's going to be the right fit for them. Now, we just had a really good tour, and a local family actually is very, very serious and really wants to purchase it. Their kids grew up having all their birthday parties there, and they love it so much. And so it could be a thing, but they're keeping the name, keeping the pumpkin patch, and they're excited. So I know it's going to take just a minute, but I feel like we're close.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, that would be great if we keep it local.
Yeah.
And get the Las Vegas vibe and the same ranch or the name.
We have to have it. Yes.
Yeah.
Reminds me of that song. I think it was Carly Simon. You tear down a building and you put up a parking lot. We don't want to do that.
No.
Yes.
No, absolutely. Well, so Ruth, and you were telling me at the beginning of the show here. So give us a little bit update on your business, for 2020, wrapping up this year here. Did you meet expectations, goals for the year, and what's your plan for next year? And then we'll go into kind of the tips and things that you learned on the getting how to get your offers accepted more here. So, but give us an update on that.
Yeah, I like what Ruth says, and so I try not to make goals. I actually make plans because I feel like that word more concretes what you have going on. Mm-hmm. So this year I exceeded my expectations. You always have your psycho goal, which was to quadruple what I did last year.
Right.
That is the psycho goal, and so I over tripled, which is great. So
fantastic.
As of yesterday, I helped 30 families and individuals, which is awesome.
Congratulations. Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yes. And in our company. And so I have 3 more to go for my calendar year. Makes me an icon. The company gives back all the money I paid in stock. So the company basically pays me to work for them.
Fantastic.
At the end of the day, you're always about your hip national, right? Working
right.
For the So I had a couple really cool nuggets this week. Yeah. So it's still very difficult to get your buyer's offer accepted, especially if it's within that sweet spot, like a really good looking, clean home. Do you know what I'm saying? So last week I was getting off a plane from Georgia, and I knew I had about 36 hours to get this couple offer accepted on anything for them to be able to put up a Christmas tree and get in before Christmas. Okay. So we had a whole bunch of them. And like I said, getting off a vacation, getting off a plane, they said, we want this house. We haven't even been in it, seen the pictures. So I'm getting off a plane. And the number one thing to do, people, please pick up your phone. Are you sick of me saying this? Actually call people. It's shocking what you can get done. It shocks me as a listing agent when I wake up to an offer. I'm all, who are you? Do I trust you? No. So pick up that phone. All right. And so I'm always like, hey, okay, well, in this instance, I can see that it's vacant. So you guys probably want to have the least amount of close of escrow days. Okay. If you see a nice full house with maybe a pumpkin or a Christmas tree, you might be asking how much of a lease back. We want to avoid Christmas, right? So 2 different things here. So this particular one was completely vacant. I knew they wanted it done quick. Okay. I want my people in there too. So he's like, I've got 6 or 7 offers. Why are you different? And I was like, have any of them called you? And you're always very complimentary and upbeat. They want to work with happy people.
Absolutely. Right.
I say I get the job done, and I always joke. I say I pick up the phone 99% of the time. I just don't take you to the bathroom with me. It always gets a joke, and they're like, oh,
right. There you go.
Okay. So, and I'm always trying to connect on social media. Hey, if you want to follow me, you can kind of see, my personality and my love for whatever. Anyway, so in this particular one, I knew these kids had been working on their loan. You really want to get a loan officer that goes the extra mile, that actually gets the ball rolling and has them done, has the paperwork, has their credit scores, has them ready to go. We're just waiting for appraisal. So that I can tell people we can close in 20 days or less, 22 days or less, not your typical 30, especially through the holidays, because everybody's writing 45 days or less before Thanksgiving when we had all those days of holidays.
Yeah.
So that's super impressive. I mean, if you've got great clients, they know they want the house, they're really, well approved, double that earnest money, just double the earnest money. It just looked good. Okay. Now, in this instance, he goes, it was 2 days before Thanksgiving. And I said, okay, what's going to set me apart? I said, listen, I'm going to give you 5 days due diligence. What? I said, yeah, you know what? Listen, I'm not going to ask for any inspections. I mean, what's my word?
Repairs.
Thank you. Repairs.
Yeah.
It's a good clean house.
Yeah.
My people, they got a lot of handymen in their family.
Right.
So I said, I'm going to go ahead and get this inspected just for my client's knowledge. And we're just going to be done with our due diligence in 5 days. And he's like, over Thanksgiving? I said, yes. Now, if you don't mind, my husband is a licensed home inspector. I never use him, but we're not allowed to ask for any repairs. So I'm going to go ahead and make him goddamn work on Thanksgiving. We're going to get it done and we'll be out of our due diligence. And he was like, all right, I like it. You got it. I said, you're not going to get a single home inspector in this town to work over a 4-day holiday weekend. And he goes, you're magical. You're magical. You got it. Now, on the other side, okay, here's the other thing. If you have a family in there and they really want to stay in there through the holidays, they need a couple months. You know what I'm saying? They need that lease back. Okay. I learned a little nugget. And sometimes, as far along in the game as you are, you're going to learn nuggets every day, right, Ruth?
Yeah.
Every day. Now, I might sound dumb, but it's new to me. Okay. So I had one of my loan officers was buying his own house. And this is the only reason why I found this out. He could have signed on Monday, which was like November 29th or something. He goes, no, I'm signing on Wednesday. It's December 1st. I go, doesn't matter to me. Why? And he goes, well, because then I get two months mortgage that I don't have to pay. And I go, why didn't I know about this? Why doesn't anybody tell me about this? And he was like, well, typically like our loan officers, they want to in the same month. They want to do the month's end. They want their numbers for the month. So it's kind of like a kept industry secret. I said, well, that's rude. I want to sign my refi on the 1st so I don't have to pay for 2 mortgage months. So
the caveat to that, Erin, though, is you do impound escrows more. So that's the only caveat.
Just depends on what you want and what you need
exactly
it for,
right.
what you need it for.
Correct.
I got an almost $1.5 million house that it's big. It's a lot of stuff. And so they want 2 free months lease back. I mean, that's a very high-end home. It could be about, $5,000 to $7,000.
Yeah, 2 free months. Wow, okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, you get the first one, but what are you going to do with the second one? So I learned this nugget and I told my clients, I said, you need to sign it on the 1st of January. You can give them the 2 free months. You won over three offers on a very high-end house, okay, which is a big deal. And they're like, oh my gosh, we're going to be in Jamaica over the 1st of the year. And I said, hang on. And I called my lender, called a couple people. Well, I figured out that they can actually sign on the 2nd or 3rd, whatever day takes you out, at the consulate in Jamaica to get it done. Because I said, can we fly some mobile notaries to Jamaica? No, you just have to go to the consulate.
Wow.
How cool is that?
That is pretty cool.
That? So anyway, that's just like the little nuggets that I learned. But I mean, it is all, I mean, you just call these people constantly. I called on this high-end house maybe 4 or 5 times because they just weren't sure. And at the end of the day, he's like, hello, Erin Pierson Mills, redhead realtor. Like, because I'm like, am I programmed yet? So, and I'm always I send my brand, I send like my digital business card so they can see, so they can recognize me all the time.
He may just branded you there, the redhead realtor. Wow.
Yeah, the redhead realtor LV. Yes.
Yeah, redhead. Is that your domain name?
Yeah. No.
Huh? No.
It's just my brand. It's just my hashtag. Just my brand.
Okay. You got it.
Redhead
Beautiful.
Realtor LV. And I'm always like, hey, it's your favorite redhead realtor. It just really sticks.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it has what alliteration it 2 R's, in a name. Yeah. So, oh, fantastic. So, so couple of things I kind of dissected there, right, of your point. So the first one is pick up the phone, right? It sounds so simple, right? But people are so used to texting these days. They're used to, texting and then not doing anything, no follow-up either, right? How many times do you have that, right? And then the other side gets mad, oh, this person is not responding. Well, I can tell you they're probably getting 100 texts a day, especially if you're a listing agent.
And even if they're not picking up the phone, send your photo. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a visual connection.
Shoot a video. Ruth, I've been saying that a long time. Shoot a video, send a text video. Right. People will open a text video 100% of the time. I guarantee that, because it's so different still to this day. So second thing is like, one of the things that this industry and this business of real estate, mortgage lending, I think the people who win are the ones that solve the most problems, right? That's what I'm hearing from you mostly here, and is understanding where the pain points are. Right. Yes. You said it right, with an empty house, and the owner wants to probably sell as fast as possible. They're not looking to extend, their closing date 45, 60 days because they want to get rid of that property. And with a family in there, you're absolutely right. Especially during the holidays, no one wants to move during Christmas, especially with kids. So
I always say, when a woman puts out a pumpkin, you're dead.
Right. Exactly right. And that's an interesting idea. I didn't know you could sign it. Is it just Jamaica? Is it any U.S. consulate across the world? Can someone sign paperwork, get notarized?
I don't know. I just dealt with Jamaica.
Okay.
So yeah, it's really fun to learn those types of things and to relieve the pain from your clients. Like, hey, I got you.
Right. And the great thing about real estate is you can be so creative in the negotiation part, right? One of the things I thought about too is like, with if a seller wants the 2 months free rent back, right? I think the train of thought that you have to have going into negotiations is, how do you create a win for everybody, right? It can't be what they call a zero-sum game where one side wins, the other side loses. Everybody has to win, and it becomes easier to get accepted. I'm wondering, and I wanted to ask you both, being in the real estate industry here, is, would it be possible for them to raise the sales price, right? If it comes in appraisal value, can you raise the sales price and then do like a seller contribution to closing costs that equals out, the 2 months of free rent? They get more money in their, they're getting a little bit more, right, from a sales price standpoint, but essentially they're only netting zero out by contributing to closing costs. Does that make sense, what I'm saying?
Sort of.
So let me break down by the numbers. So if they're being offered the house is $1 million, right, and they want the owner wants 2 months of free lease back rents, right, so you can stay in the property 2 months after the closing date. So the sales price is $1 million. They agree on that. Appraisal comes in maybe at $1,100,000, whatever. Maybe they this is a random scenario, right?
I think that's pretty rare. And then you can't base on it. You can't promise it. So right. I think if they shockingly told you that the appraisal was over, I guess you could go from there, but you couldn't promise it at the beginning.
No, you can't promise it at the beginning, but maybe you can negotiate, after a little bit and say, why don't we sell the house for $1,015,000, right? Say the appraisal came in at like $1,030,000 or something like that. Just random, enough to cover maybe raising the sales price a little bit here, and then having the seller contribute some of that money back into closing costs. Would that be possible? Is that illegal? Is anything against?
I think the strategy is that you do that before you write the offer.
Got it.
So you raise the price with the offer. That's how you do that. Because just like Frank's saying, some lenders won't go for that after the
correct.
fact.
Absolutely. Yeah, because you have to set the loan.
But it works. We've done it. We've done it twice in the past 6 months where we raised the price to handle some closing costs for the buyer. Yeah, it works. You can do that.
Yeah. No,
but you have to do it before.
Right. My whole point in saying that is like, this is the reason why there's always going to be a need for a professional real estate agent, right? In the transaction process, because it's not black and white, No. There's so many moving parts, right? This home ownership, moving family, it's such an integral part of life that requires so much finessing. there's so many different scenarios that having a strong real estate agent that, one, knows their stuff, right, and two, can be creative and think on their feet and just do the common things, which is work hard, pick up the phone, reach out. So fantastic stuff, Erin. Well, another question is, how are you building? How effective are personal stories of the buyers? From in this market environment. I know sometimes in the past, that has been a swayer of what gets chosen.
You got to be really careful, but I just try to stick it in. Oh, my adorable family, the kids love that room. I mean, like, you have to be slick about sticking it in there, because you're really not supposed to do any sort of love language, love letters. You can't, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to sway because you're young or sway because you're old. You got to just slide it in there.
One of the things I suggest is that people do a video testimonial, or a video of the buyer saying, hi, this is John and Ruth Allbrand. We want to live in Red Rock Country Club. We are totally qualified. Just the facts. No love, no flowery stuff. We're anxious to have our kids go to the school district, and we're submitting an offer. So as long as it's not a love video, it can, but videos are very powerful because people aren't doing them. But the people that are doing them, and I hear a lot of the East Coast, especially in Florida, some of my friends that are very much into video, that's what they're doing. And that market's like ours. It's pretty hot.
Yeah.
And what's the reason behind the no love language? Is it part of the Fair Housing Act?
Fair housing. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Which I disagree with. I'm on record in my classes, even though we have to teach you can't do it. I say I disagree with it. So does Jimmy Dague. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's getting very ridiculous. The fair housing to me is getting pretty ridiculous.
Sure. Well, one thing that I do love, when I know that I love the sellers to be there when I tour. I love it. Always fall in love with me, with my people. I can't tell you, probably 1/3 of everything that I got accepted was because I had my people in front of the sellers. And we could have been the lower offer. We wanted a family, or we wanted that VA loan, or you see what I'm saying? So it's my superpower to be in front.
And Erin, back in the day, this was way before you were in real estate. We used to be able to go to the seller's house with our offer and present it. Yes. And our buyer would be in the car. And we would say, the buyer's waiting for the answer in the car. And assuming what happens here, he'd like to see the house, that hopefully he's going to live in. It was just a cinch, just like you're saying. It's a cinch because sellers bought that house because they loved that house, and they really want somebody to love that house too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It is true. I'd want to know who is buying my house, because I bought the house I grew up in. So, it's very emotional. And so, I wouldn't mind it, but I can see where the fair housing comes in, because I've had those sellers before they cut off those love letters before. I think it was like last year. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That was like a definite no. I saw it. I saw, judgment in front of my face, because people were sending these love letters, and she was like, I don't know about that color. I don't know about this religion. What do you think they are? They're unattractive. I'm like, wow, I don't like this.
Mm. Yeah, you got to be careful. Mm-mm. Yeah, you got to strategize. You just don't take an idea and use it because it's a good idea. It's not a good idea for every situation.
No, you got to filter it out, right? Yeah, not everybody wants a fast closing. Surprisingly, right?
Wrong with goddamn complimenting these listing agents. I freaking look them up in any platform that I can, and but you don't want to be like too stalkery. But I'm like, hey man, you did a great job on that staging, or your pictures are phenomenal. I'd love to know who you used, even though I don't care. Do you know what I'm saying? Stroking these listing agents' egos. I like it. Let me tell you something. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this is such a great open house. We're all egotistically driven. I'm sorry if you're.
Absolutely. No, we're all looking for validation of some sort, right?
Yeah. So, I don't need it, but I like to hear it.
Right. Exactly right. No, we're all looking for validation.
Well, emotion trumps financial decisions every time when it comes to real estate.
It really does. It really does.
Absolutely. And you know, I mean, people do not always choose on price, right? It's just, if that was the case, then either the lowest price would always, you know, win, you know, sell, and the highest price would never sell. People choose, like, you know, if I'm working with someone, especially this is the reason, again, why professionals are needed in the real estate business, because you want to deal with people that you get along with, that make you feel good when you're around them, right? The last thing you want to do is go into a transaction that, yeah, you maybe get $10,000-$20,000 more for your seller, but they're a drag to work out with. They never pick up their phone. They don't respond, right?
I am that girl. So the really big house we just got into, like the 1.4, I mean, he was like, Erin, I got a better offer 7 minutes before you promised that you would send mine in. He goes, I didn't present it. I want to work with you. You've called me for months. I'm excited to meet in person.
Yeah, there you go.
And I said, I'm going to make it happy and fun and surprising and a good time.
Right. And that's why, you know, the power of social media now too is you got to market to your real estate colleagues, right, in the industry, simply because they need to know you as well. That you need to develop a reputation of being a go-getter, a closer, a person that gets stuff done, a person that answers their phone, the person that's professional. So you do not neglect the marketing that you need to do with your industry, because that's how you build your reputation, especially if you're a buyer's agent in this market right now, where inventory is, scarce still, even with 30 days worth of inventory right now. I mean, I would argue anything less than 500,000 is probably like 4 days of inventory or something like that, right in that sweet spot. So any other nuggets that you've learned throughout this process with this year? What did you do? Let's talk about this year still, 2020. What did you do differently this year that allowed you to triple your business over last year?
It wasn't directly COVID. No, I don't know. Let me think about that for a second. If I really had to put my game face on, it's not a terrible question. I just think that, so here we go. I think I created a better space for myself, which I think is important. Okay. So my daughter and her boyfriend, they moved out and they got a new home. And so this is legitimately 4 walls of the happiest place on earth. I love my office so much. I made it beautiful and aesthetically pleasing, and I'm more organized.
You're very organized.
Everything physically in front of me. It's not, a corner of the laundry room, or I don't have to drive anywhere. It's always in front of my face, and I make it happy. Look, I've got Jack Skellington is my assistant this month. So it's my happy pace. So I think maybe just a little bit more focused organization for reals. Like, I really want to come into this room, and I don't like to leave this room.
Yeah. No. Erin, the other thing, this is your second year in real estate, and you learned so much the first year, because what'd you do the first year? 17 deals?
So it's actually my third. So 2019, I did 6 deals. 2020, I did 13. This year is 30, and it will be 37.
So I think that that's attributed to, the first thing is you're a businesswoman. You you understand sales and marketing. You give great customer service, and you have a financial plan. You have all 3 legs of your business put together. And each year you learn more until this year. And next year you're going to probably do 60 deals. You're probably going to do 5 a month.
And like I told Ruth, I said, you know what? I feel like I'm a slow burn. I make sure that the foundation is set, poured and set before I start to build something else. So it's kind of like, I've been doing Facebook for 17 years. I think I feel pretty good about it. I've been doing Instagram for about, 5 years. I feel really good about it. I think I'm ready to move on to the next one. I really like to perfect something or just, have a good grip before I go a little bit further.
And I just put this up. Some people don't like change, but you need to embrace change if the alternative is disaster. In your second year, we had the pandemic, and you adapted. It was a change, and even though it was just your second year, you adapted.
Yeah.
And you've got the 3 little pigs, and you're building your house of bricks.
Yes.
Like you said, your foundation. You're doing the right things. I don't know what you do wrong. That's how I feel about your business.
Aw.
Right.
Well, and I loved when we went to EXPCon convention. I want to be the dumbest person in the room at all times. I want to be the dumbest person. I want to surround myself with the masters of the universe. And I was like, I love that. I walk in, I want to be the dumbest person here. Teach me something.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well,
Yeah. If you're the richest and the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yes.
Especially if you want to grow, right?
That's right. That's very well put, Max.
You're in the wrong room. No,
Yes.
absolutely. Well, fantastic. I mean, those numbers are great. You pretty much you doubled your production the second, or more than doubled your production the second year, and then doubled tripled your production third year. I mean, these numbers are fairly impressive, right? I mean, Erin, and coming out. But Ruth is actually right. You probably have some business acumen coming into this business, and you're willing to learn. That's the key. Willing to learn, and then taking what you learned and executing,
Right.
which is the second part of it. You can learn a whole bunch of stuff.
And I'll tell you this: as charming as she is, and her red hair is beautiful, and she's got lots of energy, her ego's in the right place. That's very important, because that comes across. You come across as a very warm, sincere human being. That is so critical to buyers and sellers and your associates, your comrades, right? It's just so important.
Well, and I'm kind of dorky. I'm very, very relatable, because do you know what I'm saying? It's like, I have boogers. Do you know what I'm saying? Kind of like, if I'm in a video doing this, it's just, I'm real. I don't want to be like slick or like, I don't want to be like so snobby. You don't think you can connect with me. I just think I'm very like girl next door.
You're very authentic.
Yeah. And you've embraced yourself. That's one thing that I've gotten a feeling from you since the first time you've been on. It's like you're comfortable in your own skin, and when you're comfortable in your own skin, people are comfortable around you, right? And because all of us want to strive to the point where we're just comfortable in our own skin, and we can see other people who are just comfortable who they are. It's inspiring and motivating, and you want to be around people like that, because
and not everybody's going to like you. When you realize that, you really have put your ego in the right place.
Yeah. You love to hate me. I know that.
Right. Yeah. If you can get half of America to hate you and half America to love you, you can become president of the United States. So I mean, if you want to do great things, you got to get a lot of haters and a lot of people that love you. So good, fantastic stuff. So what's 2022 looking like? Have you done any business planning? Have you done, as far as like, what else are you going to potentially implement? Or now that you've laid the kind of foundation, I mean, going into 6-7 transactions, I mean, that's a seasoned real estate agent. The average real estate agent still only closes 12 deals a year, Ruth? I mean,
the average? They do one a quarter.
Yeah. Okay.
It's what?
The average real estate agent does one deal a quarter.
Yeah, let's eliminate the part-timers and right. Yes, probably more than that. But at 37 deals, I mean, that's 3 deals a month. I mean, that's a seasoned agent would be very happy, with that type of production level. What are you looking and focusing on for 2022?
I'm actually really bad with goals and plans. I'm really bad at it. I just like make it happen. I don't know. But so I'm getting better at it. And so what I want to do, as with social media, like I say, I just take a little baby steps. So the next social media, so next year's going to be all about YouTube. And so what I want to do is I have lists and lists of questions that my clients have. And I just want to do short videos, because you've got those owl personalities that they want to know, like, here's A to Z, what happens all the way. They don't want to know it as you go. And so I just put together just all the general questions and be like, if you're crazy and you want to know when you're up at night, because I go to bed at 9 p.m., then you can just watch the YouTube and you can know exactly in order, exactly like a video, step-by-step guide. So that's what I'm gonna film next year to make it easier for my clients. And they say, if your client calls to the question, you're not doing your job. You're not doing your job. So it's always great to be like, okay, so here's what's going to happen at the inspection. Here's what happens next. But sometimes people want to know, okay, let's all the way through what's at the end of the road. Mm-hmm. So that's my plan for next year, is to get that video dialogue out there, locked and loaded. Here you go.
Yeah, if you can have a library of like 60-second videos answering the most common questions, where if a client texts you or anybody texts you like, hey, blah, blah, blah question, That may be your opportunity to call to make that video, right? So you don't have to answer that question again over and over again.
2 times, you need to make a video of it.
Right. And then you can just text it. It becomes evergreen. It's up there, and who knows the organic traffic that you might build from that, online as well. So, no, I mean, we've been talking about that, Ruth, for years now. I mean, people need to, even if the question's common already, just answer it. It's coming from you and your perspective, and people want to hear from it, especially if they're doing research. What was that, Erin?
We lost you.
We can't hear you anymore. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. What did she do?
Can you join again? Can you leave and she might need to leave and join again. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, she will. Yeah. But YouTube, is she coming back? I think she is. Yeah, she's here. Let's get her back on here.
My bad.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, when you do your YouTube channel, you have playlists, the ability to do playlists. So you can do a playlist for first-time home buyers, a playlist for, buyers, sellers, and then escrow, what happens in escrow. I love the playlists. It's like the icons in Instagram,
Yeah, you can have reels, right, on Instagram where you can combine your videos related specifically to whatever topic, questions, whatever.
So crazy.
But one thing,
I know.
Yeah,
it's overwhelming. It is.
That's why you slow down and you perfect one, and you just start to, because you just said reels, and I'm like, nope, wait, I just said YouTube. Don't say another one.
Well, you can repurpose the videos that you have, right? I mean, with Instagram, you can take the snippet, and here's the other thing that you want to consider, right? You're at 36, 37 transactions. Ruth knows this. At one point or another, scaling is the hardest part of any business, right? Because you can only do so much on your own here. Once you hit a plateau, you only got so much time in the day, to do the same work. And, part of it is getting organized and having, and I like what you said, though. I don't necessarily like making transaction goals, especially if I use your industry as an example, right? The goals I really make for myself in my business is the activity goals, right? Like how much activity, because there's a great book called Atomic Habits. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it.
I've heard of that one.
James Clear, Atomic Habits. He talks about your focus should not be on your goals. Your focus should be on the activities and the actions that lead to generating the result, right? So all your efforts should be creating goals behind the effort and the process. So, that's because the goals will, they'll land where they land. But we all know that you got to reverse engineer the activity level and what leads to accomplishing those, and then focusing on that and creating goals around that.
I have a whole class on that, on activities and how you reverse engineer what you want to achieve. If you really do want to go from 4 to 6 to 8 deals per month, there is a formula that you can use, and it's like you said, it's reverse engineering it, and you know exactly what you have to do each day in order to make that happen over a period of time.
Well, Ruth, when's that class? When is that next class? I think
it's December the 8th. Be the CEO of your life.
Oh,
you promise? December. I'm writing it down.
Okay, hold on. I'll put the calendar up here for everybody.
December 8th.
I have it.
What time?
It is December the 8th from 2 to 5. Be the CEO of your life.
Okay, I'm coming.
Yeah, we address the 3 legs of a business: sales and marketing, customer service, and financial.
I think everybody needs to take that class before this year, so you can get set. I know that people like to set their goals, but it's never been my thing. I've always bucked it, but it's just like, if you're really building something really hot and heavy and fast and successful, it is.
You just said the magic words. Jimmy, Dag, and I always, when we ask realtors when they come in our class, what are you doing? And if they don't say they're building a business, they're not building a business, because it's not that needs to roll off your tongue, because that's what you're doing.
100%.
You're building a business. Forget the goals. You're building a business. Totally different mindset.
Because if you're building a business, your plans are set into place. You probably will triple, you will double, because you're building. That means you're always, I don't know, building.
Yes.
And so the more you have to give, the bigger you're going to go. So
And Max uses the word scale. And eventually, you're building that business and you're going to be scaling at the same time at a certain point, meaning you're going to need more people.
More people, more help. But that's where organization, right? Focusing on processes and doing that needs to become much more tightened up in your business, because if you start handing off activities and things, the last thing you want to do is add another plate of babysitting somebody and managing somebody on a daily basis to the plate that you're already creating.
Right.
And so if you have a process, a playbook, and some organization in place, it helps you scale.
And you know what? People need to realize, like when you hire somebody, let's say a full-time assistant or a full-time videographer, or somebody that's like you have, your marketing gal, that's money out of your pocket. But you can't. But if you don't understand that businesses require operating capital to grow, you're in the wrong business, or you shouldn't be in business.
Just put it real simple: spend money to make money.
Well, yes.
Yes.
It's generalizing it, but yeah, you got to be smart about it, which you are, Erin.
All right. And you got to put, eventually when you scale, you have to put money back into your business to maybe take a step back a year or, 6 months or so in order to get to the next level. So no, excited for you, Erin. You've seen the growth that you've had over the last, you've been on the show now for probably the last 2.5, almost 3 years. You were on the show, I think your first year in real estate in 19.
I think your first show was about organizing, time management. It was time management. Yes.
Right.
So you knew back then when you first started that you needed time management. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was that child though. I was the ones that had the boards with, here's, what I'm saying. You've got like every single hour and like your little chore charts. I was that freaking weird kid.
But I know you have a schedule every morning. You do from 5 a.m. to whenever you go to bed at night. You're pretty scheduled.
Yep. Get up at 4:30 a.m. and we're in bed by 9 p.m.
Wow.
There you go.
It was our day off. It's my husband's day off. We don't have a lot of stuff. And we were up at 4:15 and I was like, we should be sleeping in. I was like, but we have stuff to do. Let's get up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I want to wish you a happy belated anniversary to your husband.
Oh, I know. Are we done with that? Jeez, there was like a whole month of 25 years. It was like
is that silver anniversary? 25 years?
Yes.
It is the silver anniversary, right?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations there. Appreciate you coming on. Any last words for, since you're probably going to be your last time here on the show in 2021 here.
Yeah.
Any last words for the community?
I just want to have a good time. I told a bunch of people, I said, you know what? I'm not doing tons of open houses. I want to celebrate people. So all I want to do is celebrate my clients, my past clients, my future clients. I have boxes and boxes of gifts. So all I want to do for the rest of the year is just go and have fun with them. Just fun.
Oh, fantastic. Well, good. Well, Erin, best of luck to you into 2022. You're on the right path. And it sounds like you're doing awesome. So appreciate you coming on and contributing to the community. Ruth, what's going on in training this week?
Oh, okay. Let's see here. I am going to hide both of you so I can put this up here and show everybody. Here we go. Oops, that's the wrong one, of course. Hold, please. Remove that one. I don't know how that one stayed around. Here we go. Here's December. So Monday we have agency and sellers, advanced strategies from 10 to 1 at 8400 West Sahara. You sign up at bee.vegas and it's $20. You get free lunch. And on Wednesday we have Be the CEO of Your Life. That's 2 to 5. You get appetizers and beverages. And that's a general class. So you get 3 CE credits for general. And then on Friday, we have risk reduction, cybersecurity, how to foil the hackers, how to create a virtual private network, all types of things you're going to learn there, 10 to 1. And then on Monday, a week from this coming Monday on the 13th, we have contracts. Do you know all the contract disclosures and understand them? That's a very important class. We just wrote it this year. It's from 2 to 5. And then on the 20th, we have the Attorney General is on line 1, and that's a law class. So we're covering all the bases. We just had our ethics class last week. And for everybody that you all need your ethics for your NAR triennial ethics commitment. So make sure that you take an ethics class this year so that you qualify for that. And that is lots of training.
Yeah,
lots of things going on.
Yeah, pretty light schedule for December, which is nice though, Ruth. Usually you have like, your entire calendar filled here, so that's good. Yeah. So any last words for everybody, Ruth, before we let you go?
No, I'll just be here Monday, and we just went over Instagram Reels on Thursday and Friday, and we might do a little bit more of that to wrap it up on Monday. And I'll see everybody at 9 o'clock on Monday morning.
Yeah, tune in for Ruth at 9 a.m. Erin, thank you for coming in again. Everybody have a good holiday season here. We'll see you probably next Saturday on the Real Estate Marketing Show.